Chair of the Awards Committee, I'd like to call the August 18, 2022 awards meeting to order. We have a physical quorum represented by Joe Orfano. Jackie Shield is representing Haifu and myself. We also have a couple of committee members joining us online. Mark Stoltz is representing Laura Shepis, and Gabor Osh is representing Ricky Erickson. The Office of General Counsel is represented by Rebecca Levy. Budget is represented by Stephanie Neely. Before we begin reviewing today's agenda, I'll note there isn't anyone physically present for public comment. Victoria, did you receive any public comment via email?
No.
All right, let the record show we did not receive any public comment. I'll pause for a moment to allow callers joining us online to unmute and speak up. Hearing no comments, we'll proceed with today's regular agenda. We have items 1 through 9 that have been reviewed by Procurement and Budget. These items are now ready to be reviewed by the Awards Committee, beginning with item 1, representing the minutes from August 11, 2022 Awards Committee meeting. Are there any comments or corrections to be discussed? All right, hearing none, may I get a motion to approve award item 1?
Joe Orfano, so moved.
And a second?
Jackie Shield, second.
We have a motion from Joe Orfano, a second from Jackie Shield. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Minutes are approved as presented. I'll pass it over to Jenny McCollum, our Chief Procurement Officer, to present each of the remaining items before I ask for a motion, beginning with item 2.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 2 is a proposal. This is for engineering services for the Deerwood Water Treatment Plant well number 2 replacement. CDM Smith, Inc. is our recommended awardee in the amount of $496,627. We estimate this to be completed in July of 2025. And I'll just note, we only had a 5% evaluation for JSAB, but it looks like we're well over 20% for this award, so that is wonderful. We received 4 proposals. We're approximately 7% higher than budget. The hourly rates are fixed for the first year and may be increased by CPI annually if requested by the firm. Are there any questions or comments?
Thank you, Jenny.
I'll pass it back to the chair.
May I get a motion to approve award item 2?
So moved. Joe Orfano, second.
Mark, was that you or Gabor?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mark Stoltz. Motion.
Okay. We have a motion from Mark Stoltz, a second from Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion is approved. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 3.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 3 is a contract termination. This is for the electric plant fire protection system inspection, testing, and maintenance services. We previously had awarded back in April of 2019 2 different contractors. We had Argas Fire and Integrated Services, LLC, and Island Mechanic Contractors Fire Protection, LLC, where we were splitting the services between Brandy Branch and Northside. JEA has previously communicated performance concerns with Aegis Fire and Integrated Services starting back in August of 2021 at Brandy Branch. We worked through discussions with them and allowed them to discontinue services at Brandy Branch, but continue services at NGS, which had not experienced performance issues at the time. IMC took over the full workload at Brandy Branch and has been performing well. Back in September of 2021, Aegis was acquired by Summit Fire and Security, LLC. We began seeing performance issues in the 4th quarter of 2021, including the deployment of unqualified technicians to JEA, They didn't meet the minimum required safety training required by JEA and OSHA, and often showed up without their required PPE. So in addition, JEA found errors in billing, and we have officially decided to terminate their contract, and we are going to suspend their bidding privileges for 2 years. We will continue the services with IMC as the primary and only vendor for those services. So this award is just for the termination. We will come back with likely an award for IMC so that we, can increase their cap. We didn't want to confuse things by bringing both and having 2 different kind of write-ups. So we wanted to focus just on the termination, and then we'll figure out what that looks like from an increase standpoint. Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 3?
Jackie Shields, so moved.
And a second?
Joe Orfano, second.
We have a motion from Jackie Shield, a second from Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion is adopted. I'll pass it back over to Jenny to present award item 4.
Through the chair, award number 4 is a contract renewal. This is for general construction services at our electric plants. We are recommending the renewal for 2 of the 3 contractors, WG Yates and Son Construction Co. in the amount of $3,875,000, and also the same amount for WW Gay Mechanical Contractors Inc. This is the only renewal that we have. This will take us through August of 2023. A little bit of history. We approved this with the awards committee back in 2017 in the amount of $30 million to WG Yates, $12 million to Williams, and $10 million to WW Gay. Actually, I'm sorry, $30 million total. Yates was $12 million, Williams was 10, and WW Gay was 8. We had multiple increases that have been approved since the original award based on capital projects that were funded that weren't, identified when we first put this award together. When these long-term contracts are in place for general construction services, that's how we typically handle these. We'll come back often when necessary, when new capital projects and O&M spend is identified. This increase in renewal will take us through FY23 for the most part, ending in August of 2023. And we typically will award this work based on 2 methods. We do a competitive lump sum bid between the companies for project work, which accounts for the larger portion of the total work amount. We also will do direct awards with time and material rates to best suit performance with specialized type work, depending on which company fits that bill. The rates were fixed for the first 3 years. CPI was applied after. That is what we use to negotiate rates for this renewal, was the CPI. The CPI their increases will take effect October 1st, 2022. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I will pass it back to the chair for.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 4?
Mark Stoltz moves.
And a second?
Jackie Shields, second.
We have a motion from Mark Stoltz, a second from Jackie Shield. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 5.
Thank you to the chair. Award number 5 is a piggyback off the Florida Sheriff's Association contract. I will note that this is also a ratification. I'll get into the background of that in a moment, but for this award, we are looking at 24 vehicles, and this is for the FY23 fleet capital requirements. So we're doing 11 replacement units for electric. We're doing 5 for water, and then we are expanding the fleet in water by 8 units. Bozard Ford Company is our recommended awardee in the amount of $1,332,458. We expect to receive these sometime September of 2023. This is not a story you guys haven't heard us talk about before. Ford Motor Company opened their ordering window to purchase the F-150 trucks earlier than anticipated. The order window closed last week, August 12th of 2022. We didn't have enough time to do a formal solicitation to ensure that the orders would be placed timely so that we could guarantee our slots. So the decision was made to piggyback off of the Florida Sheriff's Association contract. Their pricing is in line with past purchases with Duval Ford, where we have competitively bid, and the purchasing from Bozard Ford diversifies our upfitter and our dealers within the Ford trucks. So feeling good about that. When we look at the price increase, we are seeing about a 35% price increase overall. When we planned for the budget, we had estimated about a 39% increase. And when we met with Ford, the corporate representatives at the beginning of June, they were expecting increases on standard cabs by about 25% and 47% increase on the crew cabs. So we fell somewhere in the middle when we were looking at this pricing. Any questions, comments? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you. May I get a motion to approve award item 5?
Joe Orfano, so moved.
And a second?
The board,
Shields
second.
second.
Is that the board? Yeah, I'm having a difficult time differentiating between Gabor and Mark. Your volumes are a little bit low. The second was from Gabor or Mark? Gabor. Okay, thank you. We have a motion from Joe Orfano, a second from Gabor Osh. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 6.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 6 is a contract amendment. This is also for fleet. This is our JEA light and medium duty vehicles. Let's see, the purpose of the contract amendment is to modify the original award that we brought to the committee in October of 2021, where we solicited pricing for 62 vehicles. This amendment is for the planned and budgeted replacement and expansion of 29 vehicles. So we're replacing 19 electric vehicles and 6 water vehicles, and then we are expanding the electric fleet by 4 units. Duval Ford is our recommended awardee in the change order amount of $1,270,918.46. So same scenario, the Ford Motor Company opened its allocations in May of 2020, end of May of 2022. So this is a contract amendment and a ratification. We placed those orders to make sure that we could get these placed timely to not miss out on the slots. So you've seen us come back once before. That's why you see we came back in the table. We came back for Garber on the first amendment for the vans, and now we are coming back with Duval Ford on this one. This is about, we're seeing about a The actual price increases from FY22 were about 34% for the standard and extended cabs and 47% for the crew cabs. So same scenario, 29 F-150s 4x2s on these vehicles. Any questions, comments? All right, seeing none, I'll pass it back to the chair.
All right, may I get a motion to approve award item 6?
Joe Orfano, so moved.
And a second?
Mark Stoltz, seconds.
We have a motion from Joe Orfano, a second from Mark Stoltz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 7.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 7. This is an invitation to negotiate, and this is for the JEA fleet trailer maintenance and repairs. So where we do have time to competitively bid, we are. This is for minimum preventative maintenance, corrective maintenance, and row call support for JEA fleet operations. There are 352 trailers that will be a part of this program. Equipment Services of Jacksonville, Inc. is our recommended awardee in the amount of $448,604.59. This is a 3-year award with 2 one-year optional renewals. When we went to the market, unfortunately, we only received one response, that we did at least tap into the market. Some of the other vendors that didn't respond expressed the shortage of certified technicians, preventing them from being able to provide 24-hour coverage, which is an important part of this contract. The increase in pricing and the response are in line with the increases that we've seen over the last 24 months. The labor costs increased by 6.7% from their current contract. Preventative maintenance services increased about 15%. And that's mainly due to the pricing of the materials and labor, so the lubricants and then the labor costs. When we're looking at the variance between the budget estimate and the new contract, it's about 6%, which is in line with that labor increase that we're seeing when we look at kind of the overall. I will say that with we increased by 14% in the assets that are going to be a part of this program. And so when Fleet Services estimated the annual projected spend, we're at about $150,000 over the next 3 years. So that is how we came up with our award amount. Any questions or comments? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 7?
So moved. Mark.
Jackie Shields, so moved.
We have a motion from Jackie, a second.
Mark Stoltz, seconds.
Thank you, Mark. We have a motion from Jackie Shield, a second from Mark Stoltz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 8.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 8 is a single source. This is for some of our pad mount switch gear. And this is to buy 6 of them. And this is a ratification. G&W Electric Company is the recommended awardee in the amount of $699,972. So this is, G&W is the only approved manufacturer. These switch gears, these are the pad mount switch gears for 3-phase. JEA is in the process of replacing our current live front switch gear to these dead front versions for employee safety and reliability. The intent is to phase these switches in over time and install these units at strategic locations that may be in flood-prone areas or where we've experienced multiple outages. but due to the increase in lead times, just different day, different item, we needed to increase the min-max quantities, and then it resulted in us needing to purchase 6 of those. They're critical to the work, and when we realized that the lead times were going out, we went ahead and purchased those 6 to get them on the books before we could bring them to the committee, which is why it is a ratification. Any comments or questions? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 8?
Joe Orfano, so moved.
And a second?
Mark Stoltz, seconds.
Thank you, Mark. We have a motion from Joe Orfano, a second from Mark Stoltz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present our final award item for today.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 9 is a contract increase. This is for our furniture procurement, delivery, and services for our new headquarters. Purdue Inc. is our recommended awardee in the amount of $282,093.38. You guys have seen this. We've placed kind of a table for you guys to see exactly how often we've come back for different requests to the awards committee as the new headquarters is going, through the phase of being constructed. The original award for phase 1 was brought in November of 2021. We had 2 additional awards that were brought before the committee for phases 2 and 3 back in January of 2022 and March of 2022. Since that time, we've had 3 additional increases that were approved through procurement administratively for white and glass boards, outdoor furniture, bookcases, and office seating and task lighting. So our coming into this, the new not to exceed amount was about $3.5 million. This contract increase is for the purchase of phase 4, which primarily includes the lockers and the lateral files. The additional purchases included in this order encompass the majority of the known furniture and ancillary item needs. We may have additional minor needs once we are in it and occupied, and we'll seek approval for those as they're identified and as needed through the awards committee. I do want to note, and this was one kind of important piece, Purdue and Steelcase have been able to produce and deliver the materials on time as planned, but due to delays in the interior construction being experienced, we had to result in having some of the furniture be redirected to a temporary warehousing, and then some furniture within has to be repositioned to allow for the trades to come in and finish the interior work of the new headquarters. Additionally, Purdue has been a great partner, have been able to delay deliveries of others. And so we're working with them wherever we can as orders are coming in to either delay or store at a warehouse facility. We are working through what that looks like from a cost perspective for that additional labor in the warehousing, and to get the furniture from storage to the new headquarters. And we don't know what that looks like quite yet, but I will pass it to Nancy, because I'm sure you guys probably have a few questions on that, and see if she has anything additional to add.
Thanks, Jenny. I think you covered it really well. We think these additional charges partly will be shared with the Ryan companies, and we're working out a fair allocation of those, but we would still be well under our original total furniture budget, even with these additions. We will bill for actual additional labor. So Purdue had labor schedule to, unload and assemble, get everything in place. We just had to defer that. The great thing was they were able to not have trucks come from the factory and defer those deliveries to a little bit later. So we're managing as best we can, and we've been pleased with their ability to produce and deliver, but we've got other things we're trying to sequence. So happy to answer any further questions.
Nancy, it's Joe. I know you had some budget dollars for fiscal 2023 that were left for items that like this. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And,
Nancy,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to add, when, for everybody joining, when you think of selecting one piece of furniture for your home and all the effort that goes into that, this furniture makes the headquarters a usable space, and there's a tremendous amount of coordination that you facilitate with grace, and I just want to share my appreciation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. There is a lot still to be delivered across the project, not just furniture. And we're just working through various supply chain issues. So we're going to pay for everything we can out of the current fiscal year. We may have to push some monies into next year, but I think we're still going to be within our overall budget, which is Matt Petit, and I think is amazing. And a lot for the team, the JEA team and the CBRE team that helped us build those estimates.
That's extraordinary, Nancy.
Yeah.
I will
Thank
second
you.
that. Nancy's amazing, and so is the team helping her.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of work over the last year, and it really has been less than a year when we first started doing this. So it's a lot compacted into about 9 or 10 months of just constant coordination. And Nancy's made our lives in procurement a lot easier because of her coordination. So thank you. And I'll pass
Thank
it
you,
back
and
to
you
the chair.
can give me grace on the ones that are still to come.
Nancy,
You got
we'll
it.
talk offline. We'll talk offline about directing the all leather and original artwork to the community.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, seeing no other questions, I'll pass it back to the chair.
Thanks, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 9?
Mark Stoltz, so moved.
Joe Orfano, second.
We have a motion from Gabor Osh, a second from Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion is adopted. The entire agenda representing items 1 through 9 is approved for August 18th, 2022. Is there any other business to come before the awards committee at this time? All right, seeing none, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.